besties, Kara, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the extra video of the week. So I did talk about it in one of my videos, but I'm hoping to at least once a month on a Sunday I want to post an extra video. It's the new year and I feel like people want to get back into reading, so I wanted to make I don't know what I'm going to call it, but like a bookish guide getting back into reading. Today I'm just going to be talking about some tips to book talk and just reading and how it is these days, and then I am going to give some recommendations. So I have some romance recommendations and then I have a little bit of fantasy. That being said, make sure to follow my socials down below. I'll have my goodreads, my Amazon wishlist, stuff like that is linked on there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, Instagram, read. And let's just get right into it. Just quickly, some tips I will talk about. Everybody's different. This is kind of just what I think would be some good tips. So the first one I have is, if you're gonna start out, I definitely would recommend using the library. Nowadays, I feel like the library has a lot of copies of each very popular book talk book. I use the Libby app, so I don't physically get books from the library anymore. I use the Libby app, which is just like an online library thing. It's kind of like the library's version of Kindle. I just check out the books and they go right to my Kindle and I can just read it on there. And I would so recommend, I don't care what anybody says, definitely use the library. I mean, it's there for a reason. It'll save you money starting. That's how I did it in the beginning of my reading journey when I got back into reading. I started off checking out so many books from the library and it was really, really fun and really helpful. Use your local library, use the Libby app. Kind of relating to that, if you want to go to the library and save money that way, another way to save money is actually getting a Kindle. I don't have mine with me at this moment, it's in my bag, but if you can get a Kindle, if you don't have a lot of space for books, I definitely would obviously recommend using the library so you can check them out and return them. But if you also don't have a lot of space and you can and are able to get a Kindle, I would recommend it. And if you can as well, get the Kindle Unlimited subscription. And basically a Kindle is this little reading device. It's like an e-reader and you can check out a million different kinds of books. A lot of popular book talk books are on there with the Kindle Limited. I read very quickly with my Kindle on there, and it's good if you're reading at night. You can just have the little screen, and if you're out on the bout and you don't want to carry a big book, bring a Kindle. For me, it's very useful. I have used mine a lot more in the last couple months. I feel it's just very easy and convenient. When it comes to researching, obviously I'm going to give you guys some recommendations for books, but when it comes to just starting off and you're I don't know where to look, if you have TikTok, which I wouldn't say most people, but a lot of people do have TikTok, just literally look up the book talk hashtag. I'll show you how to spell it on the screen here, but literally just search up that book talk recommendations. I used TikTok a lot and I still use it a lot. When books are getting popular, I feel they always get very popular because one person talks about it on book talk and everybody ends up talking about it and hearing about it. It's a really good way to find a lot of different books and a lot of books I've never heard of. Looking up just book recommendation videos, if you stumble upon this video where I talk about books to help you get into reading. That's how I started off. Was I saw one video on TikTok and that's where it started, and I started watching a bunch of YouTube videos. I got a Bookstagram. It all stems from literally one video that you see. You're now on Instagram Reels too, so if you don't have TikTok but you have Instagram, look up Bookstagram or even look up Book Talk on Instagram. It might be why would I need to do that? There's so many books out there and there are so many that have now become Book Talk famous. They do come from something. Use your social media. I feel it's a big marketing place now, just a good place to find literally anything. So now that you have these million books that you have seen from booktuber recommendations, book talk books, and you're where am I going to store all my books? I could write it down in your notes app, write it down physically. You don't have to. It is called Goodreads or Fable. So Fable is new to me. I've had Goodreads since literally the start of my reading journey. That was just the first app that I saw. So I will put pictures of each one. I'll put Goodreads here and then Fable will be on the side. To sum it up, I've been using Goodreads. I actually just downloaded Fable, so I'm still kind of new to that app and everything, but Goodreads is basically where you can make a bunch of different things. You can make a reading goal. You have a want to read. It tracks all the books that you have read. You can see what other people are reading on there. Basically, type up the book that you want and you just add it to your want to read. You can see people's reviews, average rating of the book. But I've been using Goodreads, like I said, since I started again reading. And Fable is the same thing. Make it kind of like more pretty and aesthetic. I feel like Goodreads is like an older app. Fable, I feel like is more like for the aesthetics and the book girlies. I haven't used Fable enough, so I can't say if I recommend it. I am liking it so far, the little that I have used it. It's just really helpful to see other people's reviews, have like a booktuber that you like and you want to know like what books they've read and what they felt about it. They maybe have written a review on Goodreads and you can just literally look at their review. Find an app to track what you are reading, what you want to read. I'm just gonna quickly give you guys some like rapid fire recommendations. I'm probably not gonna go too in depth with these if I can, because I don't want this to be like too long of a video. I'm just gonna talk about books that a lot of them actually help me get into reading, but I feel like they're always recommended. I'm gonna start out with romance. I think I have about 10 probably recommendations that I'll go through real quick, and then probably about 5 to 7 fantasy. All right, I'm gonna start off with an author that read at the beginning of my reading journey and I come to really love, one of my favorite authors, and that is Abby Jimenez. She has other books. I'm just holding one. This is part of the, I believe it's the Part of Your World series. I would recommend starting with this series, even though she has a series that she came out with first. I did read that series before this one, but I feel like her writing is definitely better in this series, so I would recommend this one. But if you're looking for something more like emotionally based, so both of the characters are going through things like real life problems as well as like the romance, I would recommend Abby Jimenez. She's very good at that, of like emotional and romance balance. That's why she is one of my favorite authors, because that's just what I like to read. This one is age gap, like city girl, small town dude. I love Daniel, the mailman character, so sweet. I believe all of her books are technically like interconnected standalones, which if you don't know what that means is that they're part of a series, like the characters intertwine, but you don't need to read them in a certain order. Love the writing. Dual point of view, those are usually what I prefer, which means there's a male main character point of view and a female main character point of view. And I feel like she is really good if you just don't want too much smut. Would recommend Abby Jimenez, one of my favorite authors of all time. Next up is just a book talk classic. I read this also at the beginning of my reading journey. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. First book in the Knockabout series, Naomi and Knox. And Naomi, the female main character, comes to this small town to like take care of her niece, I believe it is, because her sister is like a troublemaker. And that's where she meets Knox. And he's like really grumpy, doesn't really like her, but puts up with her. They end up falling in love, all that. It is a long book. Lucy Score's writing is just very easy. Her books are a little bit more like smutty. This one has a little bit of like a lingering like mystery kind of suspense aspect, which I do love. A like romantic suspense. That twist at the end had me. I gave this book 5 stars. I really love this book. She is actually the first author that I ever went to a signing for, so I thought that was really special. She signed my whole Knockabout series. Special place in my heart for Miss Lucy Score. Next up, you're gonna hear me say book talk classic so much because they're just labeled as book talk classics. Love Under the Words by Christina Lauren. I had no words for this book. Again, 5 stars. I have to reread this book. I've only read this book. I might have read it twice by now. The twists, the turns, amazing. This is, I believe, childhood best friends to lovers, which is usually like not my favorite trope. There is a past and present timeline. I love that. Christina Lauren, any of their books, it's actually 2 authors. Any of their books I would recommend. 2, I've read a couple by them now. An author that I read at the beginning of my reading journey. They're really easy as well. I started talking about book talk classics and I didn't bring up one of my favorite books of all time, and that is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. If you see this everywhere, it's a book talk classic. So worth the hype. I never annotate books, guys, and I had to annotate this book. This is the only book I've ever annotated in my life. Traumatic, it's so beautiful. All I'm gonna say is these 2 characters, Archer and Bree. Archer has been unable to communicate and hasn't been too connected in society for a very long time. Bree comes to this town to just like get away from a lot of things that she's going through. Finally talks to Archer. It's just the most beautiful story ever. I love this book. All right, next up we have a little bit of like a YA moment, which is young adult. In my ripe age of 22, I will be honest, I don't read a lot of young adult, at least romance anymore, because I just don't connect to it. But this book, I just think it's a good one to start with. If you like don't want anything spicy at all, but you still want a fun romance story, I would read this one. And that is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is just a YA romance between these 2 characters who have been like childhood like best friends. There is fake dating in it. Just a classic, just a fun story about seeing these characters who have been neighbors fall in love. Literally, the title, it just like feels like you're watching like a cheesy rom-com movie. It's just so good. I really liked it. Anything by Lynn Painter too. She has some young adult books. She has some adult romances as well. So I tried to get like some different kind of types of romance books. Cowboy romances, which is probably one of my favorites. Classic author, one of my favorite authors of all time, and it's Flawless by Elsie Silver. Elsie Silver now has, I think, 3 completed series. She is coming out with a new series this year. This one is a bull rider, and the female character, I don't remember what she does, but her name is Summer. She does some kind of like law or something. I don't remember. Fun, quick, digestible, spicy, just great vibes. I read Elsie Silver's books every time, basically in one sitting. Like I will sit down for 5 hours and read her whole 300-page book because that's how easy, that's how invested I get in it. She does have a different series called the Gold Rush Ranch series, which she came out with before the Chestnut Spring series. This is what this series is called. But I feel like her writing is so much better, to be honest. You can see the growth. Alright, next up we have a hockey romance. This is the first, I believe, hockey romance series that I read or that I completed. And off-campus series, Elle Kennedy, book talk classic. This is the first one, The Deal, my favorite in the series. I love this book, 5 stars. Garrett and Hannah, they're basically college hockey romances. So you're following this like team and these college girls that like come into their lives. It's this whole thing, very easy to read, very fun. They are a little outdated, I will say, because this series was made in, oh my god, I don't know how long now. This is becoming a TV show, I think. I don't think it's a movie. I believe it's a TV show. To be honest, I really don't like the actors that they chose, but all in all, the books are good. True More Romances, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This is like a STEM romance, so it's like sciencey. It's about like a professor and student. They like fake date. It was really fun. I originally gave this 5 stars, and then I think I reread it and bumped it down maybe to a 4, but I still loved it. I believe this is becoming a movie, so I cannot wait to watch that. Last romance that I have is just one of the books that I chose out of this author, and it's Miss Emily Henry. So this is my favorite Emily Henry book, and it is Book Lovers. She has so many books out now. I think she has like 6 or something like that now. Basically, she is one of those authors where it's like a good balance between romance and literary fiction, or more like real world stuff. A lot deeper and a lot more than just the romance. I feel like these books have a lot less romance than they do like any other book, but from someone who loves romance, I really do like some of her books. I do like her writing. Her books are also becoming movies and adaptations. I believe People We Meet on Vacation, the movie or something, came out like the other day. Alrighty, besties, and the last little segment for this video is going to be like a fantasy category. If you don't think that like that is going to be your thing and you just want to stick to the romance, then that is cool. I honestly just started off reading straight up romance, and then I read one fantasy for a video, and the rest is history. First one I feel like is just very easy. I would recommend it if you're a starter or you want to dip your toe in a little bit of like fantasy world, and it's the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. This is a YA dystopian. So dystopian is kind of like the real world, but like has some magical aspects. It's basically about Juliet. Anything that she touches dies. So I thought that was very interesting. She's like this girl that's been held captive. It's a really easy series to just get right into and fall in love with. Very easy to get through. Her writing style is very poetic. There's a love triangle in here. I don't like love triangles, but in this case, I really ended up loving it. It's not too heavy on the magical aspects where you can't like understand or you're lost. And then the series that really got me into fantasy is going to be this series, this author, and this series is so popular. I now have read a lot of books from this author, and it is in fact ACOTAR, and it's basically about this girl who shoots a wolf and gets taken into the Fey realm. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just one of the most incredible things I've ever read in my entire life. Writing, world, characters. Get past the first book. That's what people always say. People read the first book and they're not sure, and honestly this was one of the first like heavy fantasy that I read. I had no problems. I gave this book 4 stars on my first read. That second book is a 6-star read. It's one of my favorite books of all time. Stick with it, get through it, because you just don't even know what you're getting into. This book is probably, I wouldn't say almost as hyped as ACOTAR, but it's going down as book talk history. The sweatshirt I'm wearing, you're probably like, oh, why are you wearing the sweatshirt that says Fourth Wing? Because it is in fact a book. One of the books that blew up. Everybody and their mother has read this. The reason for that is that it's so easy to to read. If you're a beginning fantasy, read this series. People who never read fantasy or just romance read this book and was like, oh, not too hard to understand. This has dragons. This has Zayden. What else can you say? It's so fun, so fast-paced, so emotional, so romantic. All right, next up is a series, again, that is young adult, and I feel like it's not too heavy on the magical aspects, so it is a good like starter series, and it's the Lightlark series by Alex Astor. It's a really cool concept. It's about these 6 realms where every 100 years they get sworn into this place called Lightlark, and they basically have to show off their realm's powers, and they're trying to break this curse that is all on them. One of them has to die. Who will it be? Really fun. Kind of like nothing that I've ever read from before. I feel like the magical system is fascinating. The writing is easy. It's fun. It is a love triangle. And this book is what they call paranormal. So it's not too much about fantasy. It's like romance, but like a little bit of fantasy. Bride, Allie Hazelwood, you're probably like, oh, that author sounds familiar. She is actually the same author as this book, The Love Hypothesis. So she has branched out now into paranormal romance. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. This book and the second book in the series, love. So this is like a werewolf and a vampire kind of romance, marriage of convenience. You liked Allie Hazelwood and you're like, oh, I'd want to try something like different from her, like dip my toes into like the paranormal fantasy realm. She's got one for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you take some advice or recommendations out of this video and apply it to your reading and starting your reading journey. And I just want to say welcome. I feel like it's really, really fun. It's a really fun community. There's enough yapping from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to follow my socials down below, along with goodreads, my Amazon wish list, stuff like that is in there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos, baby. I will see you guys in a couple days for another video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!